Hi everybody. Welcome to Claudia. Today we're going to talk about her au pair experience abroad. And yeah, let's see what she has to tell us about being an au pair. So, Claudia, you are Italian. I know that already. Would you tell me something more about you? For example, how old are you? Where are you from exactly? And where have you been an au pair?
Okay. Hi, everyone, and thank you for having me here. My name is Claudia. I'm 19 years old, and I'm a foreign language student here in Italy. I have been an au pair in summer 2020 in Spain, and I also have been, I have repeated the same experience 2021. So yeah, that's it. I'm a polyglot. I love learning languages, so that's why I decided to start this experience as an au pair.
Cool. So you were an au pair in the middle of the pandemic last year in 2020 in Spain. And where exactly were you working in Spain?
In Galicia, which is a region in the northwest of Spain near Portugal.
Okay, cool. And how come did you become an au pair? So how did you learn about the program?
So actually, everyone I meet says me that they wanted to be an au pair or they wanted to host an au pair, but the pandemic has stopped that experience. So they haven't been able to do that experience because of the pandemic. But for me, it was the other way around. So I had other projects for the summer, and I always had au pairing on my bucket list, but I never thought about doing it at this age. I thought of it as a job with responsibilities. So I thought it would be better for me to do it later on in my life. But last year, my other plans got cancelled because of the pandemic. So I found myself with 3 months in the summer. So I decided to find a family and start a new experience and go on an adventure.
Okay, and how long did it take you to find the right family?
I started looking for a family in June 2020, and I left at the end of July, so on the around the 20th of July. So it took me around a month, but times are very indicative for that for these days. With the pandemic and
Yeah.
everything, it's everything had just opened again, so it was maybe even faster than it would have been because
Hmm.
everyone was looking for someone to go as soon as possible. So I was quite happy with that.
Okay. And why did you decide to go to Spain? Was it your first choice or did you have other options open?
Well, I was open to pretty much any other country in Europe because traveling was still quite difficult last summer. But I have been studying Spanish for around 4 or 5 years. So I really wanted to go to Spain and I had never been. And at the same time, I also wanted to learn a new language. I already knew Spanish, but Spain is such a culturally rich and diverse country, and being able to go to Galicia allowed me to actually familiarize with the local language that they speak there, which is Galician. And so I could have both the experience in Spain with a language I already knew and a new experience with a language I didn't know yet.
Okay. Okay, so when you go, what happened with the host family at the beginning? So were they looking for somebody specifically, for example, somebody who could speak Italian, or did they have any special requirements?
They were looking for someone to teach English to their
Mm.
3-year-old. So I speak English quite fluently, and they already had an Italian au pair, which they got along very well with. So they decided that I was the right choice because I knew English and they were already familiar with people like me, so with Italians. So it was good for them and for the child as well.
Okay, and how was the host family? So you had one, they have one kid, right?
Yes, they have one kid who is now 4 years old, and well, there are two parents, and the rest of the family is very involved in the daily life. So we used to go to the grandparents to have lunch every day and spend quite a lot of the day there. And we used to meet with cousins and aunts and uncles. So it was a big united family, and
Hmm,
they were all amazing, I have to say.
very nice. And what were your tasks as an au pair?
I mainly had to take care of the boy when there was no one at home, so in the mornings. And then I had to just talk to him in English and do fun activities, play, do arts and crafts, and play with the toys. Um, and I had to just do, I just had to be with him for the whole day. So whenever he was at the grandparents, I just had to stay there with him, maybe, swim in the pool, do all the activities that he wanted to do, just because he had free time the whole day. He didn't have any specific activity. We just did daily activities in English, and that was it. And I had to engage with the rest of the family when they were there, of course, but it also felt natural.
Okay. And well, during your au pair week, did you have some free time where you could enjoy being in Spain, or was it restricted because of COVID?
Well, it was I don't think my experience would have been the same if we hadn't been in a time of pandemic. But during my day, I had like 2 or 3 hours of free time that I could have spent the way I wanted. But because of the pandemic, I decided that it was more responsible of me to just not to go out with other people that were outside of the family, because I would have felt responsible if they had been, infected because of me. And I also really enjoyed staying with the family. They were young, and I got along with them very well, as if we were friends. So we did free time activities together, and I thought it was actually even better than what I could have organized on my own.
Yeah. Okay. So could you travel a little bit maybe after the experience in Spain, or you just stayed in Galicia the whole time?
Well, the family was actually enjoyed traveling a
Hmm.
lot, and they couldn't really travel as much as they would have because of the pandemic. But we went to Portugal a couple of times, and we went a couple of weeks on holidays at the seaside, and we did local tourism. So I just explored a lot of Galicia, a lot of different towns and places at the seaside. I did a lot of tourism that for me was new. They were all new places for me, and for them it was local tourism. But I really really enjoyed it. And then when I went back in Christmas, we went to Portugal again. So we did quite a bit of tourism.
Okay, that's very nice. And it's also a very interesting point because, of course, sometimes host families don't want to spend their holidays with their peers, so they give her or him like a free time. In your case, did you work during the holidays with the family, or were they holidays for you as well?
Well, since I enjoyed staying with them and spending time with them, it didn't take me much effort to just speak to the kid in English. That was the only task I had to
Hmm.
do. So, of course, if it was the weekend, for example, I could spend my time however I wanted. So I didn't have to take care of the child. But of course, if I saw that, I don't know, something was happening that they needed help, I offered my
Hmm.
help as if I were someone of the family. But if when we went on holiday and during the week, so during my working days, I of course offered my help as much as possible. It was just all very natural. It didn't feel like I was counting the hours or anything like that.
Okay, so did you feel part of the host family?
Absolutely, yes. I felt part of the host family, and um, I didn't even feel like I was working. So I just felt
Mm.
I had a younger brother that I had to take care of, and I they were also very flexible with my working time. So, for example, if some cousins came, then I didn't have to just stay with the boy all the time. I just had to let him free, and he just enjoyed his daily life, and I did the same as if we were part of the same family.
Okay. It's very nice to hear that indeed. And well, what about the language? So in the family, you spoke Spanish or also English with the host parents?
Oh no, I spoke Spanish with the parents and English with the boy, and
Mm-hmm.
the rest of the family spoke a mixture of Spanish and Galician. So I got used to that, and I spoke Spanish to them, but they could speak Spanish or Galician. To me, it was
Okay.
the same.
Did you have the chance to go to a language course or maybe do a language course online?
No, I didn't, unfortunately, but I I would like to do that maybe in the future because I think it's a really nice opportunity.
Yeah. Okay, and well, since your experience was overall very positive, what about the research? So it took you more or less, well, a couple of weeks to find the right family, but how would you describe the searching process? So how many video calls did you do with the host family? What would you say about this? Because of course, when you find a host family online with a platform, it's very important to do the matching process very well. So what would your advice be?
So I started looking in at the beginning of June, and it took me around a month or maybe a bit more to find the right host family. Just because, again, we were in a very difficult time with a lot of insecurities about traveling and those things. But I spoke with three families in total through a video call. So I talked to a family in the Czech Republic and another couple of families in Spain. Um, and I just it's difficult to describe the experience of finding a family online, which is because it's completely different to what it is than in real life. You see these people and you just start talking to them, and mm, you see that they're fine, they're perfectly fine, and you would match with them. And that's what happened to me. I didn't think there was nothing wrong with my family, so I just said yes to them. But then I didn't know what expected me, because what expected me was actually a lot better than I actually had thought before. So um, I don't. I just think I was really lucky, because it's the actual experience then is very. It's not very different, but it goes beyond maybe your expectations. So my advice would be to just talk to as many families as you want to until you feel comfortable, but go with your gut, because that's the best thing you can do. And not don't overthink it too much, because I am an overthinker. I want everything to be perfect, and I was even doubting this family that I finally agreed to go with, because I was a perfectionist. But honestly, it's just most people that you find are just really open and really willing to have a good experience and meet new people.
Okay, thank you very much for this advice. I think it's very important what you said. So go with your gut. Yes, absolutely. It's very important. And okay, so what about the cultural shock? Of course, being an Italian, the Italian culture is very similar to the Spanish culture, but still there are some differences that may strike you. So did something weird happen to you concerning this cultural exchange, or more or less was all normal?
No, everything was just smooth, mainly because I'm a very open person, and this was not my first experience abroad. so I'm very flexible with everything. But yeah, the first few days you have to be very careful, and you have to, be respectful, and you have to see where your place in the family is, in the dynamics and everything. But everything went smoothly. But I remember the first night I arrived in Spain, we were having dinner, and I started eating from my dish, and my host father turned to me and he said, "No, we have to pray first." But it was a joke. But I felt in the beginning when he said that to me, I felt like I had done everything wrong and I was doing a wrong thing. But then the fact that it was a joke made me feel very comfortable, and everything went very smoothly, and they were open minded and just really chill.
Okay, so he had a sense of humor indeed.
Yes, and that helped a lot.
Yes, yes, to break the ice a little bit. And are you getting along? Are you contacting still your host family? Are you still in contact?
Yes, absolutely. We just talked today and we are arranging my stay with them for next summer, for this summer, because I'm going to stay with them again.
Okay, so good luck with your second experience with them. Well, since you already know them, I think it will be pretty, well, easier compared to the first time. So, yeah, it's very cool. And what will change this time? What would you do differently?
This summer we expect to have an easier situation in regards to the pandemic. So hopefully we are going to be able to travel more, which is what they hope for and also what I hope for. Um, and I'll just enjoy staying there with them, and because I miss them a lot, as if they were my own family. So yeah, I'm just going to. I think there was nothing that I would do better from my first experience. I actually had a lot of fun. It was just a bit of the anxiety that you have from the whole pandemic situation, but I hope this summer it would be different.
I hope that too. And you mentioned at the beginning that you're studying foreign languages. Well, as far as I'm concerned, in Italy, there is always this concept of, okay, if you are at the university, you have to study and not to lose time. So I don't know if you're familiar with this kind of idea, but my question would be, do you think that the au pair program is like a loss of time, or do you think that it will be useful for your future? For your CV and for your studies, of course. What do you think about that?
Well, I think the au pair experience is really, really useful from many different points of view, because well, I'm not into university yet. I will start next year, and well, I just took advantage of the free time I had in the summer to do this experience, and I think it's completely life changing, and it can change both the way you look at other people, the way you see the world, um, the way you approach different tasks, and also if you're very young, like me, or even younger, it can give you a lot of responsibility, and it's really a great experience, and I would honestly advise it to anyone. If you have some free time, and also as a student, if you have free time where you're not working, so you don't have a job, and you're not like having to quit your job to do this, absolutely take advantage of your time and spend it this way, because it's not, to me, it didn't feel like a job, and if it's the right match, then I think it's like a holiday, but it gives you a lot more.
Okay. Normally, now my question would be, would you do it again? But of course, you're going to do it again, so it doesn't really make sense to ask. But is there a country that maybe in the future you would like to work in as an au pair, except for Spain, of course?
Well, I would love to go to Sweden or Portugal in Europe. I'm just thinking Europe because right now it's difficult to think about other countries, but also maybe Korea or China would be very interesting choices. And I think it's so priceless to have an experience like this, because you don't get to live with people from other countries every day, and just trying to do things as they do, and just um, have your life completely changed, and your daily routine completely changed to fit their own routine is, I think it's priceless, and it's a really good opportunity.
Okay, so I wish you good luck with your future experience is as an au pair. Do you have the last advice you'd like to say to give to other and future au pairs?
I would say not to lose hope in the first 2 or 3 days. They're usually the hardest ones, where you have to, find your place and kind of understand family dynamics and everything. But once you've gone past that, you don't even notice it, and it's worth it. It's completely worth it. It's normal in the first 2 or 3 days to say, "Oh, where have I gone? Am I doing the right thing?" But if you just go through the first 3 days, then I promise it's going to be rewarding.
Okay, thank you so much, Claudia. I think it's very precious advice. And of course, thank you for your time and for taking part in this interview. And yes, so well done.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks.